Good evening or good morning for all of you. And thanks, President Tusk, President Juncker, for excellent hospitality and very efficient work throughout the day. It was a long day, but very with a cooperative spirit. This is the second Turkey-EU summit after 29th of November. And we have taken certain decisions, I am sure you remember, and we had a press conference here 29th of November. From that time until now, we have implemented all the decisions we made, and we did a great effort in order to prevent refugee flow and human smuggling in Aegean Sea. But because of the deteriorating situation in Syria, the refugee flow continued to Turkey and from Turkey to Aegean Sea and Europe. Therefore, there was a need of a bold decision. And yesterday, before coming here as Turkey, we studied the case in a very careful manner, and we brought some new proposals, creative and constructive proposals to EU. Yesterday, we had meetings with Chancellor Merkel, Mark Rutte, and also President Tusk, President Juncker this morning, and we shared our views. And we will continue to implement the decisions which we have taken in the previous summit. But meanwhile, we made a bold decision, as I said, through accepting all irregular, illegal migrants going from Turkey, irrespective of their origin. And we will be accepting them based on the assumption that for every Syrian readmitted by Turkey from Greek islands, another Syrian will be resettled by Europe. So with this game-changing position, in fact, our objective is to discourage illegal migration, to prevent human smugglers, to help people who want to come to Europe through encouraging legal migration in a disciplined and regular manner. Here, our main objective is humanitarian objective. We don't want to see women and children dying in Aegean Sea. In fact, we don't want to see more and more victims of oppression, brutality of the regime, of terrorist organization, and of Russian airstrikes in Syria coming to Turkey and going from Turkey to Europe. Today, we have 2.7 million refugees. And Turkey is the biggest refugee hosting country in the world. Again, I am very proud here in the name of my nation that despite of this huge population of refugees, there has not been any racist or anti-Syrian approach in Turkish society. In some Turkish towns like Kilis, the Syrian population are more than Turkish population. And we spent $10 billion until now only for those who are in camps. I am giving this picture so that international community understands this. I am happy to see that European leadership, all of my colleagues and leaders, they understood this very well and they made an empathy and they created a global awareness regarding Syrian refugees. Based on this assumption, we hope that readmitting these Syrian refugees will help to minimize the numbers of illegal migration. Based on this assumption, we requested as Turkey to have visa liberalization earlier than we planned because we are starting to implement readmission earlier than we planned on 29th of November. I am happy that we agreed that visa liberalization will be implemented latest by the end of June during Dutch presidency. We will do our job in Turkey to find all the legislative requirements, and EU side will do their part, and we hope that latest by the end of June, Turkish citizens will be able to come to Schengen area without visa. Secondly, it is important for us to see this as a package of Turkish EU accession process as well. This is a humanitarian process helping refugees, but at the same time, it is a strategic issue for us as Turkey that Turkey will be integrated to EU, and Turkish-EU relation will create a new momentum in international field, because this Syrian issue showed us very clearly that there is a need of a much more sophisticated, integrated strategy between Turkey and EU. Because of this, we want 5 new chapters, which was declared by Mr. Juncker's letter to me after 29th of November's summit, to be opened as early as possible, so that Turkish accession process will be accelerated. And third, 3 billion euro, which was specified and decided to be given to Syrian refugees, not to Turkey. I am underlining, this $3 billion will not be given to Turkey. This will be given to Syrian refugees. Not even single euro will be spent for Turkish citizens. Because there are certain circles, especially in European public opinion, as if Turkey is begging money. Turkey doesn't need money for herself, and Turkey has been paying all of these from our national budget, $10 billion only for those who are in camps, and altogether 20 billion those in the in other cities. So this money will be spent. Every penny will be spent for Syrian refugees, and we decided to start this process in coming days, not coming months or weeks, but coming days, with the projects of establishing schools, hospitals for Syrian refugees, so that those who are in Turkey right now will be having a higher standard of life. And additional funding will be there, because 3 billion in our first communique after 29th of November was initially, it was said initially 3 billion euro. So it means we decided to have additional funding. Again, this additional funding, I was surprised when I see some headlines today in European press, some press, I don't mean you as the press here, Turkey is demanding more money. No, Turkey is not demanding any money from anyone. Turkey is spending from national budget for the refugees. I want to make it clear. We are demanding fair burden sharing for Syrian refugees. Turkey is not responsible for this humanitarian tragedy, neither EU. Those who are responsible on this humanitarian tragedy should do more to have a sustainable ceasefire. And we are working here throughout day and night like today just to help victims of the brutality of the regime, of the brutality of ISIL and YPG, and brutality of Russian attacks against civilians in Syria. Again, I want to repeat, Turkey will be with the Syrian people. Turkey will be the home of all the victims, and Turkey, everywhere in the world, will be defending the conscience of humanity. And these are basically the framework of what we agreed. I am very grateful to President Tusk. In fact, this was first discussed during his visit to Ankara last week, to President Juncker, to Commission, which has facilitated all these decisions, and to Angela Merkel, Chancellor Merkel. We had a lengthy 6-hour meeting yesterday night till morning 3 o'clock, and also Presidency, Mark Rutte, and all the other colleagues who had very fruitful, constructive attitude during our meetings, during lunch, and also later. We also had meetings with 5 colleagues, Madam Chancellor, Prime Minister Cameron, President Holland, Prime Minister Renzi, and Madam Mogherini, to discuss the latest situation in Syria. We had another special session, how to support Syrian ceasefire and what else could be done by Turkey and EU leaders together for the future talks, negotiations in Geneva. It was also a very fruitful consultation, and we shared our views regarding to the future. And also, meanwhile, when my colleagues were having special session on our proposal, I had chance to visit NATO Secretary General to discuss some details of the NATO operation in Aegean Sea to protect, to rescue refugees, as well as assurance measures to support Turkey as an ally on Turkish-Syrian border against any threats coming from Syria. Also, how to have solidarity against the threat of terrorism in our alliance. Again, I want to thank to President Tusk, President Juncker, and to all of my colleagues of European leadership. And I think next week, again, we will be meeting on 18th of March, EU summit. This is a paper which was produced based on our paper. Now we will work together until next summit of EU summit, how to make these objectives a reality on the ground, and we will continue to work as a team, not two teams negotiating, but as a team jointly working for the future of humanity and human dignity of refugees. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prime Minister. And now to President Juncker of the European Commission.